time. It's your boy Mikey Fresh, and we're here on the Real Mikey Fresh podcast. And today we're doing a part two with Jackson Gator, Northwest hip hop artist and activist, I guess I could say, right? Uh,
Literally.
yeah, hell yeah. Um, yeah, man, glad you're here. How you been?
I've been good. I've been good. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad we're able to do a part two because, you know, I don't think there's really enough time in the world to really be able to cram in everything that we are doing. So it's nice to have the opportunity to do a part two. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, man, I'm happy to have you back on for sure. Before we get too carried away here, I think the first thing I should probably say is congratulations to our Seattle Seahawks, man, going back to the
Yes.
Super Bowl for a fourth time.
Yes,
That's
indeed.
exciting. That's exciting, man. I just got done watching the game a little bit
It's
ago.
good.
I had it recorded, so I was avoiding the world right there for a few hours until I could finish watching it. But yeah, that's awesome, man. Congratulations to them and to Washington and the city of Seattle and everybody, man. We love our Hawks here.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Yeah, it was a good game for sure.
it was. It's been a good playoff run, and to go through San Francisco and the Rams both, to have to play the NFC West teams again was pretty awesome and beat them. Show it
Yeah.
wasn't like a fluke, because everybody had us counted out, at the very beginning of the season. It was like, oh, the Seahawks will be lucky to win 5 games, and now they're, you know, going back to the Super Bowl, playing the Patriots, get that trophy back.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
that time. I definitely think we got it this year. So.
Yeah. Hell yeah. We got a good team. Yeah, man. So what you been up to? I like we talked about your jersey a second ago, the free Adel. And there's a little bit of something behind the free Adel with your ciphers and in the STV movement.
Yeah, so Friato, so I had my second ever group that I was a part of. I mean, it wasn't super long lasting, but the first and second groups that I was a part of, we actually kind of came up with this name Friato. And what it basically means is, with our music, we have so much power to do good within and really relay a strong, powerful message. And that's what we're trying to do.
Mhm.
And so, Friato means freeing the hearts and minds of Seattle, one song at a time. And so like when I got around a tribe for peace or black society as it was called back a little bit back then,
Mhm.
I was like, yo, this kind of aligns with what I was trying to do, because it's talking about elevating and really telling a solid, putting stories back into the music, which is very, very important. Um, and so I'm like, yeah, let's work together. Let's see what we can do. And it definitely sparked a super big creative, kind of big bang in my brain where I was like, whoa, I didn't think about things to this level. So we've been really helping each other elevate, and I'm like, I can't let this die. Like this is something that I've really wanted to really push, and so I'm wearing my first ever custom piece of merch that I've ever had. Um, Kind of taking it back to where to that beginning stage of my career, and it's been really humbling, and it's reminded me why I started getting into music in the first place.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah, it's cool. Do you, is there anywhere anybody can get the jersey, or is that just custom for you right now? Or
So yeah, so this is a custom piece just for me right now. A lot of people that have ever seen me perform like seen me perform in this jersey. It's a one of a kind. But I'm thinking as time goes on, you will start to see Friato on a lot more of my merch. And I'm still working on getting my store back up and running. I had a couple of hiccups, so it's in redevelopment right now.
yeah, okay.
But but yeah, I'm excited. Once it's all done and put together, we should be good.
Oh, nice. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Um, yeah, man. So STV is Stop the Violence. tell me a little bit of, what the it's I'm brand new, right? So introduce me to what the whole movement and everything is about exactly. We talked about it on the previous podcast before, but I would really like for everybody to really like trying to get them to fully understand exactly what you guys are about.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I can't really go super heavy into detail like Chosen can.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, as far as it goes, we sit back every day and we look at all this stuff that's going on in the world, and like even heavily around the industry.
Mhm.
And there's so much just, there's so much violence going on in the world, whether it be wars, whether it be, you know, just I try to keep politics out of it,
Yeah,
but sometimes it's
it's
hard
hard.
because there's
It's part
politics in
of it.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
part
it's
of it.
like, you know there's politics in everything we do. But like there's wars, there's whether it be international across the world, there's wars in the streets, there's wars in just religion, there's wars in almost every single like aspect of our lives.
Mhm.
And 9 times out of 10 you see a lot of oppression and violence going on within our community, whether it be just a crackhead trying to fight somebody else for, that one last like that one last hit or whatever,
Yeah.
and gangs, coming up and, fighting over turf, or but it's even worse now. It's even worse now because we got the younger generation. Like you look at them funny and they're ready to shoot you. And it's like, bro, we don't need the violence like in our communities anymore. Like we don't need to keep promoting something in our music and, glorifying it to the point to make it look cool.
Mhm.
You know, I want to see a world where we can actually come together and actually grow together as a community, like in unity, and lift each other up, because that's what it's really all about. That's what we need to do. That's the only way all of us, like, that's how we're going to get out of the struggles that we're in, is if we come together as one and we build something that's stronger, that can't be taken away, that can't be dimmed out.
Yeah.
And so it's like having, and I know for a lot of us, we either know somebody that's been taken by, gun violence, or, or it hits a little bit closer to home, where
Mhm.
somebody that we love was taken. And even for me, for instance, like I had a very dark time in my life where, um, I lost somebody that I really cared about. She was a very important person to me, and we literally started planning our future together. And because I was a idiot teenager running around with the wrong crowd, you know, I I did some stupid stuff, and I thought that, I didn't need protection or whatever. But, she was the one that got shot instead of me,
Mhm.
because they were coming after me, but she just happened to be in the way. And, she saved my life that day. And ever since that time, like I've pushed so heavily to not only push that movement, but it sits very near and dear to my heart. So, stopping the violence goes across the board. In music, because a lot of artists still glorify violence and, how
Yeah.
dope gangs are. And I'm like, no, it's not. I've asked real hardcore, gangbangers, like, was this worth it? And they tell me, honestly, no, it was
Yeah.
not worth it. If I could go back and change things, I definitely would. And I'm like, why? And they're like, because you're either spending more time behind bars, away from your family, your like, and the people you care about, and or you're getting stabbed or shot. And
Right.
it's like, is that really what you want? Looking over your shoulder every day, fighting over, who's on this block, who's on this block, who said what to who did what to who? No, like, let's work together and build something that nobody can take away from us. Because if one person goes down, there's always more people that are going to carry it on.
Yeah.
So I know if I was to die today, like tomorrow, I already know that there are people that will carry on what it is that we've been doing. 100%. And that's the real, like, the passion behind, the STV movement.
Uh-huh.
So, and I always try to reconnect that to, what I've been going through. So, like, that's me sharing something very personal to my heart. And yeah, it's it's sad sometimes, even more so today, because people just think the simple answer is to shoot somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like that's the it's for some reason people think that's like you said the answer to the problems, and it's just really just you're just creating more problems. And if you get away with it, s- especially if you're in that environment, if you're gang banging or and somebody's going to know, and they're going to come after you, right? And if you don't get killed, you're going to end up in prison or uh and I mean, is it worth being the most respected guy in prison? Right?
Right.
I mean, what's the value to that? And it's the a culture thing, you know, s- growing up in the 90s, right? And like in gangster rap, came out and I feel like there was a little more meaning. Of course, there was just like the hardcore, just gangster. It's cool to be gangster, right? Type rap
Hmm.
music, but there was a lot more if you look at like your NWAs and Pac, and it's not so much about being affiliated with the gang as it is, uh, you know, growing up either oppressed in the city or there's a bigger message than just being a gangbanger. Where today it's just like it's just cool to be violent, right? And
Yeah.
then um, yeah, and then it got really popular with like the white kids out in the suburbs and the sticks and you know I mean those are the guys and girls that were buying up the majority of the records. I don't think it was so much, and statistically I'm pretty sure it shows it wasn't the people actually living it that were really supporting that type of music. uh,
Exactly.
um, but it's very real, right? And that's our urban neighborhoods and the culture. One of the questions I actually wrote down because I've seen this myself personally too, and it's people that are of like the gang culture or just living that hood lifestyle, right? And then they come across young people that are want to get into college or school or do something to get out, right? They kind of belittle those people and kind of treat them like there's something wrong with them, right? Because they don't want to be affiliated, or, be part of that anymore, and they're kind of trying to break that cycle. And I don't know how prevalent that is. I mean, I've kind of seen it myself before, but again, I don't live in the city, right? And I didn't really grow up around it. I mean, how prevalent is that? Really? I mean, does that happen more often or not, or is that
I
just maybe
mean,
a stereotype that people see?
personally, like, I'm trying to think of the best way to say it, because I mean, when it comes down to it, people definitely belittle anyone that tries to better themselves
Hmm.
in life, or just think outside the box and not be part of the ever, like, never ending rat race of life. You know, because I mean, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a musician, I have businesses and stuff like that that I do, and time and time again, there's always somebody that's trying to belittle me and make just to bring me back down, so I'll quit.
Hmm.
They and I'll just get right back to moving in the same cycle that everyone else is. And so it's like it's very prevalent nowadays to see people, attacking people that are thinking different, acting different, who believe they're different. And I don't necessarily, I mean, I can't say that I don't understand why, because I do. But I don't understand why they deem it necessary. Why?
Hmm.
Because they didn't have the cojones to do it themselves, to do it first. You know, like, so many times
You
I've
think it's
seen,
like a jealousy, like to
in a
see
sense, yeah,
somebody, yeah,
jealousy or an envy,
envy.
and I'm just like, yeah, why do people have to do that? And I'm like, okay, well, if you want to be a part of this, then why not just come and be a part of it? Like, you don't have to try and take me down a peg because you didn't feel like you could do it. That doesn't make sense.
Mhm.
And, especially when it comes to, gang life and stuff like that, thinking different than other people, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not. But it is also a bad thing because if you start to think bigger than, the next guy, then they're going to start getting jealous because, whoever's in charge is going to start noticing your value and they're going to try and bring you up higher and higher and higher. And, obviously everybody wants to be near the top because then you can make more decisions and
Mm.
so on and so forth. Um, but I mean, everybody knows that there's only one way to, like, there's really only one way to leave, and that's to die.
Yeah,
So
in a
you have to be
box.
very, and it's like if somebody even gets a whiff that you want out, that's you're just opening up a huge can of stuff you don't want
Like trying to
because
get out of the gang. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
and I'm
Now you're
like,
not
well,
down for your set or your hood, or you're not down for the
yep,
family, right?
yep,
Essentially
and
turning your back
mm-hmm,
because you want to
and
do better, because if people, we have, gang, whether you're a gang bang member or whatever, not, people still end up with kids and families, and that changes things, and next thing they're like, man, I don't want my kids to grow up with this, and so what might have been your lifestyle before, now you have different things to think about, perhaps, right? And then you want to get out, and but you're kind of stuck in that. If that
yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
yeah.
And that's what sucks is because then, like, most, like, a lot of people start young,
Hmm.
very young, and and why is that? Because it becomes a generational thing. It's like having an older brother in a gang, and then you grow up seeing him do it, and and you hear how they glorify it and so on and so forth, and
Yeah,
you know and then after that it's like, okay, now, like, and now you start to, like, they start coming around the family and all of that, and then you essentially are being groomed to take your rightful place, as part of this gang.
yeah.
And it's absolutely insane to me because I'm like, okay, what if he has a bright future, a very big, like, a smart brain that he could go to Harvard or Oxford, whatever.
Hmm.
And it's like, but no, that's not acceptable. Your brother's in it, so you need to be in it.
Right.
And now you have to pick a side. Are you gonna continue with the family or what? And so it's like essentially you almost don't get a choice, um to, like, your own choice in that scenario, because if you say no, then you're going to get shunned by pretty much everybody, and you might even get attacked. I've definitely seen that happen.
Hmm.
um but it's just like it's absolutely ludicrous to me. I can't even. And so, yeah, it makes me wonder how it got to that point where you want to continue to, fuel the negativity in the world. Like, I get it. I get it because, and the only difference between each gang or set or whatever is just all at the heart of it, they're all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
They all want the same thing. They're it's just the way they go about it and their belief system is different. In reality. In reality.
I mean, essentially, it's a business, right?
Hmm.
And it's a family business of sorts, too. And then if you look, I mean, from the '60s, '70s, '80s, '90s, up until now, it's generational. I mean, your grandpa might have been, you know, part of the same gang you are,
Right.
and it's yeah, it's weird. It's just been going on for a long time. Um, I guess is it like a just a cultural thing to where it's so ingrained in people that that's just what you do?
in a sense, because again, it's like how I said, it typically starts at a young age,
Mhm.
and that's because like you start you grow up, you'll start growing up looking up to somebody in your family, right?
Yeah.
And for instance, like let's say it's an older brother, and you're maybe like 5 years younger. And you see him out there, every day, with his group of friends, and like you don't necessarily understand what they're doing,
Mhm.
but you look up to him. You see him doing good, you know, and all of that because you don't understand what's really going on. And so it's like, oh my goodness, I look up to my brother. I want to be just like my brother. But then I thought you start to get like once you start getting older, to a certain age, and for some it really depends on the culture. Some people it starts as early as like 8, 9,
Yeah.
some it's 10, 11, some it's 12, 13, and it starts with little stuff and then it just starts to grow. It's like, yeah, man, you want to be part of something, you want to be part of this, like you want a piece of this, like here's like $50. And to a little kid, it's like $50.
Mhm.
Whoa. And it's like, yeah, like what do I have to do? It's like, oh, you just got to take this over to this guy.
Right.
And it's like, okay, that's the easiest $50 I've ever made.
Yeah.
But then after that, you're like, yeah, you want to make twice that much?
How
You
many
want to make
times
it
can I
three
do
times?
this a day for you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you just become a mail courier for,
Mhm.
but you don't necessarily know what you got. And, you're told not to ask any questions. You're told not to stop. You're told, all of these different things, like all these things. And um, it's just like, wow, that's that's really how it starts. And then after that it's bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's like, oh, I need you to go, like we gotta go meet with this fucking, you know with the connect, we gotta go meet with the distro, we gotta go meet with this guy and this guy, and it's like, wow. Like, and typically all of these meetings are, they can be very dangerous, very
Yeah.
dangerous. And especially if you're meeting with with other groups, it's like, okay, well, you know I mean, I can't even shed too much light on that because I'm not. Eesh. It gets
R
dangerous.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, somebody's putting a gun in your hand saying, "Hey, this happened. We need to go take care of business," right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I'm just like, I that's really what keeps that going. It starts off as like this really innocent thing, like you're looking up to somebody who you consider to be like a hero to you, and then but then it becomes more. Then it becomes a money thing because you're like, oh, as a little kid, I can make $50 just by walking this over to this person
Mhm.
and dropping it off and then leaving. That's $50 in my pocket. I can't make that,
Yeah.
It's like not that easy. And they're like, yeah, dude, like this is pretty easy stuff. Like all you got to do is do this, do this. No, but if you really understand the logistics of it to its core, you don't realize what it is that you're giving up
Yeah.
or what you could potentially be giving up. And it's like for me, I like yes, I can honestly say I've hurt a lot of people in my life, like whether it be relationships or other business ventures or whatever. But I took a long look in the mirror after after that tragedy happened, and I was like, I gotta stop. Like that's not what I was meant to be put on this earth for. I
Yeah.
was meant to help people and heal people, not hurt people. And so that really, it really made me open my eyes and made me change my life and my perspective.
For
And
sure.
so it's like, people, and people like they see me and they're like, Jack, how are you so chill? How are you just so laid back and easy to talk to and get along with? I'm like, because I don't care about half of the stuff other people care about. People can say whatever they want to me. I'm like, words don't affect me
Yeah.
anymore. Like, and that's personally, like that's a personal choice. Like I don't think I've gone a day this week, like going onto my Facebook without seeing somebody talk about how depressing their life is.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, but what are you doing in your life? I mean, I look at everything that you're posting and all this stuff. And this is probably why it's depressing, because you're not doing anything that's really meaningful or worthwhile. That's really going to elevate your mind, your life, and your body.
Yeah.
But yet you're going to sit here and complain about your life. And
Yeah,
I'm like, that's great.
or you just post that shit on social media, or you just carry that with you through your daily living, right? Is like a you're just like a human pity party just looking for
Attention.
sympathy.
Yeah.
Right.
Sympathy and
Uh,
attention. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy, because I'm like, I could have, like, one of the business ventures that I had taken on was Amway. A lot of people look at Amway as a big bad or pyramid scheme, whatever. It's not. I've done the research, I've talked to lawyers, I've literally been, a part of it for the past like 3 years.
mhm,
And it's done wonders for me. It's brought extra money into my pocket and stuff like that. And and it's funny because I've offered so many of my friends the opportunity, like, to have their own e-commerce business, to be part of something bigger than themselves, but and have the help of people that have made millions from it.
mhm,
Literally, from the lowest of low to the highest of high. And I'm like, and I will literally be there every step of the way to help teach you. And you'll have other people there to help teach you. And you'll be able to grow. And it's like, but they're like, no, dude, no. And I'm like, but then I see them post a week later, dude, I'm broke. Like, can I get some money? Like, just I'm like, what are you? What? That's crazy. I'm like,
yeah,
no, I can teach you how to make that money, but I'm not giving you that money.
right. I can
No,
teach a man to fish. You
exactly.
know? Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting, and everybody ultimately wants a better situation, right?
Yeah.
And but they want to do it in a way that's going to have to, like, really, where you have to put forth the least amount of effort.
Uh,
I want to sit back every day and just have $1,000 magically show up in my bank account.
yeah, I wanna do nothing and I want instant gratification, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
And it's like, and what I've been taught is delayed gratification is lasting gratification.
Or I want everybody else to change to fit my needs.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And I'm
It's
like, no, bro, that's not how it works. That's not how the
yeah,
world works. But some
right.
people just haven't gotten
It's the
it.
mindset though, for sure.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm like, dang. So yeah, I mean, so ultimately, all of this ties into, what we're trying to do in the tribe, but also what I'm trying to do with my personal brand. Um, and it's really just enlightening people and showing people that there's a different way. Some
Mhm.
people feel like they don't have a way to either, communicate their feelings. They feel like violence is the only answer. And it's like, there's a different path. You don't have to be, you don't have to be out in the streets, slinging dope. You don't have to be shooting people up and so on and so forth. Like, you can come and join what we're trying to do, make music, express yourself, and through your music, you can touch lives in a way you never thought possible.
Yeah.
And you could help the next person, because you never know what your song is doing to help somebody mentally. Like I said last time, like, I've had people literally come up to me and ask me, dude, that was really deep, like, why'd you make that song? I'm
Mhm.
like, because, it was something that I went through and I'm still here. I didn't give up. I got back up and I kept fighting.
Yeah.
And, so my message in that song is, it doesn't matter how difficult life gets. You can still get up if you choose to. You can still keep fighting if you choose to.
Yeah.
Your problems are never bigger than you. You are bigger than your problems. And you're the only one that can hold yourself back.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. You have to choose change, right? That was something I was gonna one of the questions I was gonna ask is how do you convince, somebody to that, there's a better way or that that's just what they know and how do you convince somebody that there's something better or to help change, right? To how do you
Mhm.
convince them to stop the violence, right? And to do something else when that's like all they know and they think that's what life should be or is, right?
Mhm.
Um, and that's a hard thing to do, right? It's just like with like drugs and alcohol, right? Like it's hard to convince somebody who's an alcoholic that they need to quit or convince them they're an alcoholic, right?
Yeah.
um, it's kind of you have to want that change first, I suppose. Kind of answer my own question a little bit here, but and then then like then you can come to somebody who's willing to help. Like I suppose. Welcome to our conversation. We got Queen Chosen here for the second go around of the conversation on the Real Mikey Fresh podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, so we were talking about the STV movement and just the stopping the violence and me and Jackson were talking about kind of the violence and within the community and gang violence and kind of how it's like became like a generational thing uh and so I guess my next question I was going to ask is you know uh, there's a lot of people that are affected in the community by violence, whether it be gang violence or otherwise, and what can people do to try to start changing their community? Is there just alternative lifestyles like, or the family unit or education? um yeah, I'll pose that question to you guys.
Okay. I
Go
feel
ahead,
like
Joe.
I feel like each one should teach one.
Mm,
Um, it's a journey with yourself. So really when you change your mindset and you find the right people to be around that support that mindset, it changes your world.
hmm
And then when you get strong within that community, um, you want we want to promote that new lifestyle instead of the self-destruction lifestyle. So it's finding another lifestyle because we basically promote what we want right now. We're promoting a lot of drug abuse, a lot of violence, a lot of pain because we're storytelling. So we're telling our stories, but in order for the story to change, we'd have to change ourselves and change our narratives and our mindset, and then spread that positivity instead of negativity.
Yeah.
nice.
I 100% agree with that. It's again, it comes down to, the association you keep. And if you continuously, hang around people that glorify that, they want to do that and stuff like that, the odds are you're gonna end up doing it.
hmm
And so it's like when you get around the positive, like people that are positive, and working on not just self growth and self healing, it changes you in a way that you would not have thought possible. But it starts with yourself. You have to be willing, to take that step because nobody can make you take it. And I know that your one of your questions was like, how do you help, people go about that, taking that step
hmm
or convince them,
Convince.
was the word you used.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're not here to convince people. You have to be willing to, and you have to be willing and able to want to do it, to
Yeah.
want to change. Otherwise it's not going to happen. Chosen and I, and a lot of pretty much everyone within the tribe, it's a never-ending journey, but we've done the inner work. You have to work on yourself to be able to even be effective in, talking about these types of things, teaching other people. You gotta help yourself first, and then you can help other people.
True.
Be the change.
Mhm,
Yeah. Yeah. I know this old guy I used to kind of hang out with and stuff, and he talked about, he'd always say, he's like, man, it starts right here. If I can change, then
Mhm.
maybe I can help my neighbor change. Then the two of us can start to help the town change, right? And then next thing we
mhm,
can make the city, and just this explanation of how that just grows, right? And
mhm.
and and we talked about the music and how there's a lot of um promoting drugs and violence and within especially rap music, right? Um,
Mhm.
how do you popularize, positive rap music? Um, because I mean that just seems to be kind of the norm of the hip hop game, right? Like that's what everybody, most artists in one way, shape, or form. That's how they do it. That's what they do. So, like, I guess how would you become a breakout artist trying to spread a positive message, um, just by doing it, or and hoping that people get popular, or hoping you get popular, or people just care, or if that I don't know if that question
I
really
think,
makes
yeah,
sense, but
no, it
yeah,
does. Um,
how do
I
you make
think
it
it's
appealing?
more about. I think it's more about making the change in the community more than focusing on the music,
Hmm.
because the music is low key just a tool, just like motivational talking, just like being on a podcast now. They're all tools, but it's actually making connections in real life with real people, talking about healing, talk about how some of the things we've gone through as a collective and individually, and how it's affecting and
Hmm.
wanting to change. That's why I said it takes a lot of inner work to even be real enough to have that conversation and
Yeah,
grow up to handle that.
Yeah,
yeah. It
absolutely.
in our the last podcast we did, chosen. You were talking about that you have like workshops and stuff that people can attend.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us about those. Where are
Yeah,
they?
so
What's it about?
it's gonna be random locations and venues and setting depending on what we're teaching. So we have music education, so stage presence, just different courses, songwriting, just artist development courses. And then we also have the healing aspect, um, where we kind of teach some of the knowledge that we've learned and applied to our life that we know works.
Hmm.
So, so that's also what comes with building a community is, like I said, each one teach one. So having those times to like break down the lessons that we've learned and created for lessons to for other people to learn.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, it's it's funny because it sounds a lot like being in recovery, with drugs and alcohol, and
Hmm.
where you can join a fellowship, right? And it's everybody's already been there, because oftentimes there's when you're talking to people that have never experienced it, they look at you like, well, why don't you just stop, right? Right? Yeah, how do you
Right.
say that to a whole community or a whole culture of people, or it's not that easy, and people don't understand. And so getting around people who have been through it, and can help get through it. I
Yeah.
mean, that's yeah.
Yeah, because ultimately within those little workshops, and that's like planting the seeds, and then eventually later down the line, we want to do bigger things like festivals and retreats to really gather the people and bring people from all around the world to teach something.
Mm,
And on top of that, it's really about, how Chosen said, each one teach one and stuff like that. And it's the easiest and most simple way that I can put it is that, making positive music popular and stuff like that, it Chosen is correct. It is a tool. Music is a tool. And but for me, I think the simplest way to put it is actions speak louder than words.
mm,
And so it's
Mhm.
like how to make it popular and how to make people like, what it is that we do and the music that we create, we show them. We show them what we do.
mm-hmm.
It's like we're gonna have, like over Thanksgiving, we did a feed the homeless. We gave back to the community, and we actually had genuine conversations, and we're planning on doing other events, like soul food cookout, and we're gonna incorporate music, our music,
Mm-hmm.
and give back to the community and stuff like that. So it's like we're showing people what it is that we do, and we're using our music too, because it just works. It works hand in hand because everybody likes to eat
Yeah,
and everybody likes good music.
right.
And people will listen, you know, to the music that we have, and they'll be like, whoa, like that's a different message. And we're also going to incorporate, talks. We're going to have people come out and speak and on different things. We're going to have different topics and stuff like that. So, it's showing people that through action and not just our words.
Yeah.
So we back it up with our words.
Hmm.
Yeah. And the way you live, right? I mean,
Hmm.
it's can be pretty appealing if somebody can look at you guys and say, "Wow, those people have, pretty fulfilling lives and they seem to be happy and happy, joyous and free," right? And I want that, and it's kind of one of those things, then that might get the people's mind going, how can I achieve this, right? Yeah, and then there you go, and want that change too. So what about like people from, the outs people that aren't around, the type of lifestyle, or, how what can they do to change, or should they care even, right? Or does that make sense? I mean, I don't, why should anybody else care, like, about the urban community, or like an African American community, or right, like,
So why should people care about their communities
yeah.
and want to change? I mean, it really, I mean, so for some of us, it's a calling. For others, it's just something that we see as, important.
Hmm.
And for me, like I was talking about in the very beginning, was that I was put on this earth to help people, not hurt people. And after the realization and after that tragedy happened in my life, like I started trying to figure out ways to do that,
Hmm.
different ways. And I'm like, I don't feel like I'm being effective enough and stuff like that. And so I had to come up with different ways, and I had to do a lot of soul searching. And I'm like, but it's not just a passion for me to help people. I feel like it's really truly a calling that I was meant to lead people in a different way, and be the light in the world, be the change that I wanted to see in the world. And how we talked about, you honestly can't go on social media without seeing something depressing nowadays. And it's
Hmm.
like, okay, but that's what really hooks everybody. Is it's like they just keep seeing all this negative stuff. So why should people care about their community? Because without community, we're nothing. Because you standing alone, that's great. But you standing with your entire community, that's momentous. Like that's life changing. That's something, like I said, that really can't be taken down if you stand strong and you build a strong community.
Hmm.
Because each one will teach one, each
Yep.
one will help one.
Nice.
Yep. And I'm gonna add on to that.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so everybody's on a different timeline and everybody has a different season. But it's important for us as leaders to come together and create something, because if someone is going through something and they come across us, we could like change lives. So it's
Hmm.
like if we know it, then we just got to make sure we make it very real. So when the time does come in someone's season or timeline, this is already created. So they have the option, the choice.
Hmm.
Yeah. um so yeah, so Jackson, so I know you're starting like cipher events, or like freestyle events,
Hmm.
which is also geared toward your guys, the movement, the STV movement, movement and stuff too. You want to tell us about what's that all about? Like, what's the idea of your project, or
Yeah, so I mean, ultimately, what I want to do, it's tech essentially a work part of the workshop part.
okay.
Because a lot of artists nowadays, they don't know how to freestyle.
Mm.
I'm a freestyle artist. That's all I've ever done is freestyle. I know how to write, I know how to do all that, but I enjoy freestyling. It helps me be creative. It helps me grow and expand my mind. But for me also, I feel like it is probably one of the purest and most genuine ways for me to create music because it's everything that's just coming right off the top of my head.
Mhm.
You know, it's my realist thoughts coming right then and there, and I'm putting it into each song. So, you know, when I say that it's going back to the workshop thing, you know, I'm bringing people together. You know, you don't have to know how to freestyle. You could be brand new. You could not have freestyled a day in your life,
Yeah.
but you're gonna be able to be around people that do know how to freestyle, and we're gonna teach you how to freestyle. We're gonna break it down for you. We're gonna, you know, help you improve and grow and get better at it. And that way you can, I mean, then after that, who knows? It's really up to you whether you want to keep practicing and keep working on it and get better and get better and get better, or you know, you can just stop and not do it. But how it's connected to the movement is at the we have very specific we're having very specific guidelines. It is going to be a contract type of thing where you know we have certain rules that by no exception they need to be followed, um you know, to keep everybody safe, and that way everyone can come and grow, and it's not meant to tear people down, it's meant to uplift people and in unity. And you know, you're able to network and stuff like that. So, and I want to start structuring it so each one that we do has a, you know, will have a theme,
Mhm.
you know, and it's like I don't want people just sitting there spitting about, you know, gun violence and
Right.
drugs and alcohol and sex and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, yeah, anyone can freestyle about that if they wanted to. No, I want this to be more meaningful. I want you to really sit there and think, let your brain go wild with like positive things, like with an actual story, with a message.
Right.
And so those are gonna be my challenges for people. Is it's like I want you to freestyle your story right now.
Some deep thinking
Mhm.
freestyle rap, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I want people. It's in that in so doing, it's helping people, it's pushing people to start thinking about doing inner work, if they really think about it.
Yeah.
Because they're like, "Huh, how would I do that? What would I even say?" I'm like, "Okay, well, tell your story. That's what this was meant to be, you know? Tell your stories. Help people grow and elevate and rise." And, you know, it's just like for me, that's all I do. Like I said, I'm a freestyler, so it's in all of my music.
Mhm.
It's in every single song I've made, and especially with the newer stuff coming up. You know, it's going to be more deep. It's going to be about my journey, and it's going to be about how I've elevated and the people around me have elevated. And it's just like, yeah, like I want people to actually be able to sit there and listen to my music and, you know, really feel everything that it is that I'm saying. Not just hear it, but feel it and
Yeah.
understand it. And then they'll be like, "Huh, wow, I wonder why, you know, he said it like this, or why he's talking like about this." Because it's important. This is how I live my life, and this is what has changed my life drastically for the better. Because without music, without, you know, having the, you know, and getting around a different group of people, I would have never met Chosen. I would have never met, you know, BJG, you know, Top, uh, Dead J, all of this. Like I would have never met them, and they're some of the best artists I know,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
with good messages and good stories, you know. So shout out to them for sure, like 100%, because and I consider them all family. You know, we may bicker, we may fight, but at the end of the day, I know that they're gonna have my back. And they're going to push me to be the best version of myself that I can be, not just as an artist, but in life.
Mhm.
And I can honestly say one of the people that pushes me the hardest to be the best is Chosen.
Got to,
So,
man. You push me
yeah.
too.
We push each other like daily, literally daily.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and it's like, how can we do better? How can we be more effective?
Uh-huh.
So, she has a very heavy hand in, these with these ciphers and these freestyle sessions because, even she wants to, she's like, I don't freestyle that much. Like, I really don't. And I'm like, don't worry, I'll teach you.
Yeah.
Like,
Perfect.
and so, like, that's what we're gonna do. We're like, when we get on the phone, sometimes she'll like, turn on a beat, turn on a beat. I'm like, okay, and then we just start
Facts.
freestyling back and forth. So,
Yeah.
it's that practice, that repetition, and I guarantee you, she can become one of the best freestylers out there, literally.
Right.
Yep,
So,
that's facts.
Freestyle takes skill, man. For real.
It do.
I that's how kind of like me and Big T kind of got started. That's how we uh you know, people we'd go to parties and stuff, and a beat would come on or a song, and we'd just start freestyling. Like, you'd get those little instrumentals at the end of a song, and we just start freestyling.
hmm
Next thing you know, like every time we'd go, to a party or whatever, like, you guys gonna freestyle, right? And that's kind of how we started,
Yeah.
rapping and
absolutely.
and everything. I haven't done it in so long now. I'm terrible. I ended up just I'll start something and then it just ends up with like a bunch of cuss words or just something that doesn't make sense.
Hey, man, I mean,
So
I
yeah, I
I
definitely
won't
am a
even
lot
lie,
better with
that's
my
me
pen.
too.
Yeah. Uh, no, it sounds like kind of like poetry jams though, or I mean, are you gonna do like battle raps or anything, or are you just more of
I
just
mean, there's a lot of different things. So, what essentially the big picture of this project is, obviously the networking and stuff like that. But I wanna be able to have, cipher sessions and freestyles going on in different area codes. Like, each area code has its own group.
Mhm.
So you can, let's say, the Tacoma group. They're like, we come together every single week and we're just doing this thing, or every other week or whatever, and we just freestyle and stuff like that. But over in Everett, they have their own, like, ciphers going. And let's say we want to, we're like, okay, well, nobody new is really showing up in a week or so. um let's step over, to Everett, see who's over there, who's coming out there and popping out. Okay, yeah. Who knows? You never know who's going to be there, so you'll be able to network with somebody new,
That's
and
true.
you're like, oh dang, like they got some style. Maybe I want to work on a project with them. Okay, there you go. You just got a feature. Like, but then, it's going to be leading up to our big event. After we kind of get stuff solidified and group solidified, um, we're doing a. The plan is to do a haunted corn maze cipher battle. So that's going to
Interesting.
be two artists at every single checkpoint, and you're battling your way through the maze,
Uh,
and whatever two artists on each team or whatever make it to the final, which is obviously the end of the maze. There's going to be the big stage, and then they're going to have to battle it out on stage live in front of everybody. Oh, we lost Chosen. They have to battle it out live, for the finale, to see who wins.
okay.
And
That's
yeah,
that
it's gonna
sounds
be
pretty
crazy.
cool. Yeah. Dude, you should like somehow try to record that or something for and post it
Oh
on
yeah,
YouTube. Yeah.
oh yeah. It's
Yeah.
gonna be it's gonna be all. Everything's gonna be recorded. I'm gonna have actual. I'm actually getting in contact with Darian Neves with Heat Seekers. I want to bring him on as the official camera person for that. Um, and that way we can, or I might even
There you
have
are.
one of my good homies. Hey, welcome back. I might even have one of my good friends, who owns his own company, Legit Productions. They shot my very first music video. I might
Yeah.
have him bring his whole crew out and, do that for me. So, there's a lot of potential, and this is, my one way of helping promote other people's businesses, because, and, be like, look, this is what they're doing, and this is what they can do, and yada yada, this and that. But yeah, he's built it up from nothing, and now he's gone international. So I'm super proud of him. So shout out to
That's what's
Bishop,
up.
straight up killing it in this game. And I'm also helping him with his music. He's starting to get into music. I'm like, finally.
Yeah.
So yeah, it all comes back around and works hand in hand at one point or another.
back to networking and people working together.
Yep.
And I know when we recorded the last podcast too, we kind of left off in Chosen was talking about, we were talking about collaboration and then
Hmm.
but with a little bit of competition too. That some good healthy competition, right? Can help helps everybody
Hmm.
grow too. That was pretty cool. And with the this freestyle and like the battle maze and stuff, you know, uh, yeah, it sounds pretty cool, man. It sounds like a lot of fun. And yeah, if you could record it too, I think it'd be pretty interesting for people to just to watch. Uh,
Yeah, that would be cool.
yeah. So, how's your freestyle game coming along? Chosen? You get
It's
any?
decent. It's
Yeah,
decent. I freestyle in front of people now, so that's a good
yeah,
sign. Yeah.
All right, Mikey, turn on a beat.
yeah. Right.
It's challenge time on the spot.
Challenge you on the spot. Oh yeah, that's yeah. You just get a blank face out of me. Uh, yeah, click. Oh, I don't know what happened, guys.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and that's really what it comes down to is like just, it's step by step,
Hmm.
start freestyling, by yourself and then eventually freestyle with one other person and then eventually another person and then another person, then you can get in front of a group. Like I've done it on stage as part of like an actual set that I was
Hmm.
doing for the show because I was like I've already performed all of these songs like a trillion times. I want to try and like put forth something new. So I tested myself. And I was like, here we go. And people didn't even know it was a freestyle. They were like, dude, that song was dope. I'm like, that was all freestyle. What are you talking about? They're
Yeah.
like, really? You put that together so well.
What
I'm
are you,
like,
Biggie? Jay
Hell
Z?
yeah.
baby, baby.
Baby, baby. Yeah, dude.
So yeah, it's that's what I want to try and help people to do is get a little bit more comfortable. Because it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter if you mess up. That's the whole
Hmm.
point is like you gotta mess up and you gotta keep pushing through it. And then after that, eventually you're gonna start training and wiring your brain to just start thinking about words and words and more and more and more and how to put them together. And
Yeah.
so it's like sometimes I'll even just rap about what I see. Um, I'll be looking at a picture and I'll be like, oh, it's snowing and blowing and everything is going. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Like it's something it's something as simple as that, just to kind of start out. Um, and then eventually I don't necessarily need to rap about what I see, you know. I can just think about something that I've been through in life and I'll just start rapping about it.
Sort of rap about what you see in your head.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of those things, it's just like that's what makes some of the dopest music because I'm like, it's what I'm actually seeing and feeling and all of that that's up in my brain. And I'm like, whew, that just went dark. Like,
Hmm.
or like that was really like inspirational, you
Yep.
know?
Releasing
So,
it.
so
Yeah.
it's like I try and I even start to freestyle, like I'll go live on Facebook and I'll just turn on beats and I'll freestyle now
Hmm.
because it helps me practice and also just it's fun. It's freeing for me.
Yeah. Well, one of the things too is, I mean, trying to be a rapper. I mean, really, we're trying to be entertainers, right? And
Mhm.
Yes.
and you really, in order to do it, you really got to get over the idea of looking dumb, right?
Mhm.
Like Chosen, she's like, oh, I'll do it in front of people now, and I think that's probably the biggest thing that holds us back, right? Is
That was the
that
biggest
fear
hurdle.
of looking
Yeah.
like an idiot, right? Um, for
Yep.
me, I came to realize I'm like, oh, I look like an idiot all the time anyway, so why not do it on camera? No. Yeah. No, it's cool. Once you can get over it, man, you can have a lot of fun and have a lot of fun with people too, right? And go back to helping people, right? Help people feel good. Because I think oftentimes too, when if I see somebody else, not taking themselves so serious and they can do that, and it's like, oh, I can do that too, right? And all of a
Mhm.
sudden we're just having
Yeah.
fun with it. But it's cool. Uh,
Right.
and the freestyle thing, as far as writing songs, man, that helps a lot. Uh,
Mhm.
One of the things that I've been doing uh lately is doing like drop in raps. So like I'll record and like multi-track my lyrics that I'm recording, right? So it's just like two bars, right? Or just a couple lines, right? And then just record that and then stop, right? And then think of your next one. It's kind of like a freestyle, but a lot slower
Well,
Hmm.
work rate.
that sounds like a cool process.
Well, and so yeah, and I learned it like Big X the Plug. He like if you listen to his music, a lot of his raps, you'll hear each line kind of overlapping, and that's how because he's just dropping in. Raps like two bars or two lines, and then they cut it, and then he comes in right after that, and so it's just like da 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 da. But as the last word or phrase is dropping, the next one's coming right in behind it. It's pretty cool, and it turns
Yeah.
out, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a pretty interesting way to record.
I've actually tried that, and I was actually kind of amazed at how it did work out.
Hmm.
Um, and that was mainly because like I tried to go through it in one take, two takes. I'm like, I can't do that. So I had to break it up essentially, and I was like,
Yeah,
okay, if I can just get this first part down, then I'm good. Then after that, I'm gonna do the second part. And then I'm like, boom, okay, now I just gotta shift this a little bit, layer, and then it's like perfect. Okay, it feeds right into it. I'm like, oh, I like
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for
yeah,
sure. And I mean, oh, I have my own studio too, right? So it's I can do it, and it's not going to cost me fucking hella money for studio time, right? Yeah, you be paying $10,000 a song sometimes if you're trying to do it that way, and yeah,
yeah,
uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's cool. I've written songs, right? And I didn't even write anything. I just did it that way, and and then you can go back and if you don't like a line, you can cut it out and do it over, or you. It's a good way just to learn the whole song, and also too, if you're not like a fast rapper, but you want to get some quick bars in there, that's a good way to do it too. Uh,
that is true,
yeah,
especially when it comes to freestyling. I know a lot of people that can rap fast, and it's like I cannot rap fast to save my life.
yeah,
I found I can rap the fastest when I manipulate my vocal cords the way that I do. So, I'll be like, "Yeah, what's up?" and stuff like that, and I can rap fast in that voice. But if
mm.
I'm rapping just like normally, no.
I feel that.
And I honestly think it's because I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just having fun.
Yeah,
And,
Yeah.
I overthink it way too much. And it's like, oh, wow, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I'm practicing it because I do want to be able to rap, fast for some songs and some parts of the song.
yeah,
But it comes with time. So I have people teaching me how to do that, and really helping me build that craft. Because yeah, I mean, to me personally, it's not just enough to freestyle. You have to be versatile in your freestyle. So
mm.
you see what I did there? I rhymed. No.
That's right. Just natural now. He's like Snoop Dogg. Just everything
Got
People
the
he
started
says
it
is
like
gems.
that.
just a rap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally, it's like everything I say is like
Yeah,
because that's how I knew that I could
yeah,
freestyle because every time I could just be having a conversation and then I'll start to rhyme things and I'm
yeah.
like, oh,
Just have a
There I
started
go
again.
again.
conversation. Put a West Coast beat behind it.
Yeah.
Call it a
He said
record.
I'm versatile in my freestyle. I've been here for a while.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh,
for shizzle. Right.
for shizzle and
Yeah.
nizzle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Shout out Uncle Snoop.
oh, there you go. I
Hey,
thought
that's
that was a
real.
death row chain. Hell yeah.
Yes, indeed. Got it from Snoop Dogg himself.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I seen the pictures with you with Snoop. That's dope.
That's
Yeah,
fire.
it was a
Uh,
lot of fun.
when I was when I was stalking your Facebook page for pictures for the thumbnail.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. No, it's just the whole music thing, music creation and being creative, and it's fun in general, man. It's healthy, good healthy, thing to do for me. Um yeah, speaking of creating new music, you guys, what do you got new coming on? What do you got new coming out? You got any new singles, new albums? Chosen
Right.
shaking her head.
I definitely got a lot of stuff I need to do in the studio still.
Yeah,
I have an album and I have like four singles, and then right now I'm also working on getting with certain tribe members and getting us together so we can make an official Tribe for Peace album.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
I
What about you,
mean,
Jax?
I I got way too much stuff to do. Let's be honest. Let's break this down a little bit. So I have I have like 10 singles I need to get done. And most people are like, well, why not just make an album? I'm like, because that's not what these are for. These are meant to be singles.
hmm
Uh, because they're different. But I have an album that I am structuring. It's gonna be called Inferno X. Um, and essentially that's gonna be uh, a very raw and real album with a bunch of features on it. So you'll hear features from a lot of the local artists and stuff like that that are, really down to be part of something huge. Because once we put this in actual production, like we got fire for days. Let me tell you, like
hmm
we're bringing the inferno. Um, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited. I've been planning this for over 3 years now. So I'm getting that done this year. And then I closed the chapter on my country music, at least for now. I dropped my country EP. And so now the rest of it, I'm just gonna be going back in and re-recording some of the other stuff that just needs better production. And getting and like Chosen said, working on a lot of the trap music. So one of my songs, Invisible Scars, Chosen is going to be featuring on that, which I'm excited for. And then also my other song, Love is Love, which was a contracted song for Pride, um, and also for a drag show. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm
Yep,
like,
that one definitely is.
Nice. So yeah, it's a tribe for peace. We talked about last time too. So you have like 10. Can you introduce your members to us? You have too many to
we keep them in
know.
the shadows. No. Yeah.
And
I
do you
Yeah.
guys
mean,
all have your own like singles, or like are you also solo artists too? And
Oh yeah, all of us are independent artists that are just standing together
okay,
to create the culture.
nice.
mhm.
Yep.
So you're not like a record label, like a filler, not like Wu
Nope.
Nope.
Tang Clan, right? Or well, maybe you
No.
kind of are, but aren't, right?
Yeah,
It's
Arba
like
art.
we
Yeah,
are, we aren't, but it's like we cut the label out. We
Yeah.
became like we just find the right people that do all the stuff and kind of create our own system.
nice.
So everybody plays a different role in the tribe. Not everybody's an artist. Some people make music videos, some people make clothing,
Okay.
but we all stand together as independent artists, whether it's
Hmm.
different industries. So we have different hosts, comedians.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. So
Yep.
it's a collective group of people, really, that are working together to help
Yep.
each other out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
And we
yeah. That's
love it,
cool.
honestly. So I mean, there's me, there's Chosen, there's BJG, there's J1, there's Mike, there's Yessie, there's Henny Z, there's obviously the Prince Paul or the Prophet. Um,
Okay.
and then who else do we have? Literally.
Um, we have Zenobia and Sarayan, Lena.
Mhm.
We have Sam and Spencer. Did you say Black Empress and Lotto?
No, Lotto and Black Emperors.
Hmm. So I guess we have more than 10 now. Damn, we just
Yeah.
Yeah,
we just be building. I don't know. I haven't been able to keep
we
up, and we
build.
have Jessamine now too.
Oh yeah, and
Kapowski,
Jessamine. Shout out
Kapowski,
Kapowski.
Jessamine. We love you.
big Kapowski, man, not
Yeah,
the
and
little one.
Kapowski. And Kapowski.
Uh,
It's like
yeah,
Bebe's kids.
Mm-hmm.
yep, yep. It's
Oh shit.
entertainment. It's the entertainment world on this side.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then we just got like our outside affiliates too. So they're not necessarily part of the tribe, but they are at the same
They
time.
play a big role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rise and Shine Cafe, Tony.
Shout out Tony, we love you guys.
And then we got Levi Lyons with Lion Pride Music.
Shout out Levi.
There you go.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's cool,
Um
man.
yeah, and then we
Any
got Vibe Catalyst. Shout out to Dead J. Love you, brother.
Hmm.
And then we got Loyal and Rich Records, or LR. Shout out to them as well. Yeah, I think that's the full extent right now.
where are you guys doing shows at? Are you guys doing shows right now at all or
Everywhere.
everywhere? Yeah.
We
Everywhere.
really are doing shows everywhere,
Yeah.
It's true.
um, individually and as a collective.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we've been everywhere right now, from here to Oregon right now.
Nice. You just mainly uh what, Everett to Oregon, up kind of the
Yeah,
coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everett, Oregon, Olympia, Seattle, of course,
Yeah.
Tacoma,
Tacoma, of course,
Bremerton.
Bremerton for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
And then, but
Anything
this year
coming
we're going to
up?
be expanding.
Yum.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But there's a couple places I've been to in Washington, but they're so out there that I don't really remember the name of the cities.
I
Boonies.
mean, I mean, as
Boonies.
I mean, like individually, like I mean, I can sit here and I could go through every single city that I've been to, but I mean, we do have some stuff coming up. Um, well, not necessarily coming. Well, I mean, it is coming up, but it's in the works still.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be doing a show in February, and then March. March is gonna be Emo Easter Part 2, which is gonna be fun. Um, and that's mainly just because I still got emo friends, but it's fine. I love them. I love them to death. Plus,
I could see you
they're
with black fingernails and
oh yeah,
yeah.
I've done
Yeah.
it. I had a whole emo phase, so,
Yeah.
like in my life. So, and like I used
Yeah.
to have like septum piercing, my snake bites, the eyebrow piercing, black nails. I had like a spiky jacket, and I mean, I never got down with the fishnets, but you know, but still, um, yeah, I did have the eye makeup and stuff like that too at one point,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was a time, but I still got a lot of emo friends, and they wanted to do something kind of darkish themed,
Hmm.
and I'm like, okay, why not? I guess, but don't expect me to talk about
Why
depression.
not? Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's dude. I know a lot of like juggalos and stuff, and just right. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, yeah,
Literally.
it's cool. I used to be into it too, back in like the early 2000s stuff. Not so much these days, but hey, teach their own, right? Um,
Hmm.
no, speaking of kind of different or whatever, you said your country music career's done for a while. So, Chosen, I don't know, but I hadn't heard Jackson's music, right? And he sent me these links, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'll check your music out. Well, the first thing that I clicked on was this country album, and I'm just like, what the fuck? I like, all right, cool. Like, it was cool, right? I liked it. And I was like, damn, I did not expect that. And so then I talked to him. So
Yeah,
that was kind of my first impression, but I had heard,
That's
other
funny.
music like right after that, but I had to tell him I was kind of ribbing him a little bit about it. Like, bro, I heard that country album. I wasn't expecting to, so I didn't know you were a country singer. What I call it, a cowboy or cowboy, your cowboy album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they they call me Billy Ray Cipers
He
when I
got
do
some
country.
country hits on there.
He
He
did.
does.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed. Yeah, with some Old Town Road shit going on.
Yeah, low key, low key. That's what
Yeah.
it
I
felt
know.
like.
Uh-huh.
Saddle up.
So yeah.
Come on, boys.
Yeah.
and that's what I'm talking about. How like I've been able to train myself to do different things with my vocals, and so it's like yeah, I can kind of sound like a little bit southern sometimes, you know, and then like other times it's like I can go higher pitch,
Mm.
like I was showing you earlier when I was talking about rapping fast, and sometimes like you like when I am freestyling and stuff, especially on stage, they ate it up when I was out in Astoria, but I'll rap in a Mickey Mouse voice or Kermit the Frog, and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So it gets very interesting. You never know what you're gonna get from me, and that's what I love about it. Because I'll do
Nice.
country and then I'll go straight like metal or something like that. I mean, I
Hmm.
cannot scream, so don't ever. But still, yeah, it gets interesting.
Yeah. No, that was cool, man. What gave you the idea to try it or try to do a country album? Or do you have
So,
country music influence?
uh, no, personally,
No.
country is my least liked genre
Yeah, no, I hear
of all time.
you.
I don't like listening
I've
to it.
never been a fan either.
You know, I like specific songs, but the whole genre itself, I can't. But the reason I actually I made my first two country songs was off of a dare from my redneck friend. Well, he's my brother, I won't lie. But he's like, I dare you to make a country song. You're
I
gonna sound
dare
like
you.
an idiot. And I was like, okay, bet. And so I did, and then I was like, here, bro, I did it. And he listened to it, he's like, man, that's actually pretty good, man. Hey, I told you I can do it all. Don't test me. And and now it's like one of my number one requested songs is to do one of my country songs, which is Come On Boys. Um and yeah, it's a hit. And I'm like, yeah, so I'm probably gonna take that one back into the studio, get it re-recorded so it sounds more professional. I probably won't ever be able to do it the way that I did before, just because like that I had so much fun once I heard the beat. Like
Mm.
I dove on it. And I actually found it funny because that song, um, I got talked to about it from another artist, Casanova Gentry. Love you, brother. Sorry I stole that beat, but he's like, yeah, bro, I was thinking about using that same beat. I'm like, beat you to it. Gotta be on top of these things, man.
Yeah,
So, but I mean, I love Casanova. He's doing a lot of great stuff with country, and so I'm gonna be helping him with linking him with one of my beat makers that does country beats, and um so he can have some stuff to work on. But I
nice.
told him, I'm like, hey, don't think I'm giving you all the best beats. I'm gonna keep some for myself just in case.
I feel like a lot of rap artists end up going down some kind of a country road for, or a minute, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like it.
It's definitely
Yeah.
become more popular.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lately, it all started with Nelly and Tim McGraw. And that, no,
Hmm.
Nah, we like a little sample of country every now and then.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you got like Lil Nas X doing it, and then you
mm,
got Justin
True.
Champagne, which he's amazing. I don't know if you've ever listened to him, but I got to watch him live, um, with Snoop Dogg and T-Pain and Warren G. Um, and that I was not expecting that, and but obviously Snoop Dogg fucks with it, so I mean, hey.
hmm.
But yeah,
Well, yeah,
he's really good.
he's on that show. The Was it The Voice or whatever? It's like one of the judges, and they sign people, and he's got like country singers on death row and stuff now
Oh
too.
yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah.
I mean,
It's trust me, death row's definitely changed
yeah,
from what it used to be.
hmm,
But I mean, if you don't evolve, that's kind of how you die.
yeah. That's kind of like our, one of our things with Diamond Sharp. We're like, we pretty much everybody raps, but dude, we're looking for like maybe we could get a rock group, to hook up with us, or a country or pop singers, or to expand the label. I mean, instead of just being one genre, kind of a one note label, is let's be an actual label and not just a group. A group. Um, No, that's cool, and like you guys were talking about too, like you have comedians in your group, and that's a good idea, man. To because then you can bring a whole act with you, right? And you don't need to open for anybody or need anybody to be like a marquee on a ticket that you get to just kind of
Mhm.
ride the coattails of. You bring your whole show with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And it
that's cool.
opens up a completely different avenue, really, because it's like so. My brother, Chris, or Fat Kid as he goes by, um, he he's a really talented comedian. He really is.
Hmm.
I'm also working with him on freestyling. He's gonna be on one of my albums. Um, and he's like, I'll do one album with you, and that's it. I'm like, okay, fine. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like it's fun bringing him out to do things. He's an amazing host, and I'm like, hey, incorporate your comedy into it, bro. Do like a whole sketch if you want.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, yeah. So it does help. And then I've also met other comedians through him, and stuff like that. So it definitely opens up a completely different avenue to network in. But yeah.
You guys got websites or anything to promote? Links.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
What you got?
A tribeforpeace.com.
Okay.
Yep.
Tryforpeace.com.
Yep.
Where are we finding you guys' music?
I mean,
Individually, right now, there's no official Trap for Peace that's been uploaded on any distribution website.
Hmm.
Um, but a lot of our artists, if you follow our artists, they individually have music and they're already preparing music for the tribe, and some of it's already released, so you can see the direction of where the music is headed.
mhm.
Okay. Uh,
So
you
Jackson Gator on all platforms.
there you go.
So
YouTube. Yeah.
yep, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, all of it. Jackson Gator.
Jackson
Yep.
Gator. Nice. SVT. Stop the
ST,
violence.
yeah, STV Chozen on mine.
Nice. I'm running out of things to talk about.
Yeah, you're good.
What do you
I mean,
got?
we talked about a lot in
Yeah.
the
Is there
first
anything we
part
haven't
one.
covered? Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, overall, I mean, I can sit here and talk forever. I
Yeah.
won't lie. But I mean, I think one of the biggest things is kind of circling back to the community and stuff like that. Some of the community projects I can't speak super heavily into because that we're not 100% there. But I will say that this year, the tribe is going to be working a lot more on community projects. So we will be reaching out to a lot of people to come and be a part of that, within the industry and outside of the industry. Um, just to kind of help them get out there themselves and be a part of what it is that we're doing, but also be able to promote themselves.
Mhm.
Yep.
Um, and then, you know, food drives, clothing drives, all that type of stuff. The list is endless.
Really.
And I personally think, you know, uh, once we actually have it set, me and Chosen are putting the work into it to get these retreats going. It's gonna be we're gonna have full like healing retreats and classes, and we're gonna be able to bring people in, like people that have been really studying the fine art and history of healing and what it takes to start on that path and that journey to do inner healing, mental healing, spiritual healing, and physical healing. And just, there's thousands of ways that you can go through healing.
Mhm.
Right.
Um, and it's like and I'm excited for that too, because I personally believe that the healing journey is never done. And if you decide to stop it, you can. But I feel like if you continue on that journey, your life is only gonna continue to elevate and go up and go up and go up,
Yeah.
because you're gonna realize life in a completely different way, instead of just focusing on the negative. Because us as a people, we see all the negative around us. We hear it, we see it, we live it. And it's just like, okay, focus on the things you can control and push the things that you can't control out.
Yeah.
And what I like to say is up because I'm a religious person, so I always give my all the negative things back to God, and that's it. And let me tell you, I have never been more happy in my life since I started doing that heavily, and I love it. I love it. It just gives me a completely better outlook on life,
Mhm.
and it's helped me be able to help others and talk to others and in a way that I never thought I could. Um, and one thing that I'm leaning into this year on top of everything else that I'm doing is starting up my motivational speaking. Um, and that's something that I I'm really hoping to lean into, and I'm hoping that a certain someone chosen will help me do because honestly, I won't lie, when me and chosen get together, we definitely have a very, very powerful voice and a very, very powerful message. And, you know, I think that there's a lot of things that a lot of good we can do by doing that. So
Mhm.
we'll see.
Yeah. No, that's definitely the direction I want to go. Motivational speaking. I also want to have one-on-one life coaches. I want both me and Jackson to do life coaching, so people can have those one-on-one personal calls where we can actually break down things and see what's going on in private.
Yeah.
Hmm. And I want to break it and something that I'm actually learning from my parents because my parents actually run their own business for, you know, coaching and stuff like that. So life coaching and relationship coaching and stuff like that. They they my dad broke it down. He did this class where it talks about I believe it's called anagrams, and what that is it's literally an assessment that you take. You take an assessment and you answer the questions 100% honestly, and you really have to prepare yourself for it because it can get brutal.
Yeah.
But it breaks you down into certain types, like what type you are. So you'll be either a type A or a type B or a type 1 or a type 2. Um, and each type breaks it down into like what is your biggest like fear and why, and then it's like why it helps you understand why you are the way that you are and why you react the ways that you do. And so it's like I just find I found it super fascinating because I understand myself a lot more than I did before, and I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, so that's why I do that. So like I'll share a little bit about me. So it's like my biggest fear is being left out or being different, being alone, and you know, being abandoned. Like that's my biggest fear.
Mhm.
I mean, I already knew that 100%. Um, but you know, when I actually saw it out on paper after taking that assessment, I'm like, okay, that really does make sense. And then it broke down why. And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, interesting. So like eventually I want people to actually take that assessment and then I want to bring my parents in to actually break it down for them until I have the training myself to do it. But yeah, it's it's really interesting and I think it'll be very helpful for those who want to do the inner work. Because it can help you in in all facets of your life, especially in relationships if you understand how you react and if your partner knows how you react and why.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
so yeah, it's definitely
it's
a big
important.
step.
Yeah. Well, it's important, like, for me, it's important for me to know how I react. The first thing is react, right? Because
Mhm,
I need to stop reacting. I need to learn how to respond to things, right? Because
mhm,
reaction gets me in trouble. And so, yeah, being able to, take kind of an inventory or an assessment of myself and then being able to understand that. And,
yeah,
then I can look at that, right? And be like, well, how can I take this information and, respond properly to whatever problems or or it don't even have to be a problem. It could be something positive in my life that I, overreact to, and then I turn it into a problem, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's cool. And but yeah, like you said too, here's a list of questions. Answer them honestly, right there. It's like, oh,
Yeah. And
Gets
I
real.
was like,
yeah.
ooh, but, but it was
How
difficult
many
because
people
like,
walk out on that room?
so they actually taught that class at our church, and my parents were like, yeah, not a lot of people showed up for that or even made it all the way through. And I was like, I wonder why, because they're not willing to start that healing path of doing the inner work and really
Hmm.
digging deep inside themselves to understand themselves. Because I mean, like I said, it's not they don't put it in a nice way. They'll give it to you brutally honest. And I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like we're gonna tear you to shreds, but it's very real. It's very real, and it does make you think. And I won't lie, once I got my results back on that, I was like, I started thinking about all the times throughout my life where I was like, oh, whoa, like I reacted really bad, and I'm
Yeah.
like now I'm kind of understanding why. Um, and so yeah, it was very enlightening for me, and it definitely helped me start the next step of my healing journey and helped me kind of talk to other people about it.
Hmm.
So yeah, but
Yeah, and
you
then
know,
uh, you know, kind of looking at your part in situations too, and then like you said, and then you're kind of surprised why did I do that, but then also then because I'm thinking of like like a 12-step program, you
mhm,
you work a fourth step and take your inventory, and then you look at your part in the whole situation, and then once you figure out what your wrong was, then you got to go share that with somebody, and that's another scary thing is actually sharing that with another human being. Right? It's
which
like,
is
okay, now I gotta tell my faults. I don't want people to think I'm not perfect. Right?
right,
Yeah.
uh
and that's definitely something that actually did remind me of something too, because when it comes down to that, there's a huge it's healing is a process, right?
mhm.
And so it's like for me, what I had to learn to do is I had to take time to myself, think about all of the times that I could have potentially see like not definitively, but potentially hurt somebody,
Mhm.
maybe by an action, a gesture, something that I said,
Yeah.
right? And I did realize that there was a lot of instances where I had done things that I was not proud of that hurt people. And so I had to like I went back and I apologized to like all the way back to middle school. I went all the way back to middle school and I started apologizing to all of the people that I hurt from middle school all the way through high school up into college and all the way up until now,
Yeah.
all at
Making
least
making
all the
those
people that I
amends.
could remember,
Right.
right? Uh, and then, after that, and then I had to go back in and I was like, I had to re-examine what that situation was, why, and I had to take responsibility for my part.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, I can't, even if I was 100% right, I still apologized for the things that I did in that situation that made it worse,
Yeah.
because nobody's perfect.
Right.
Everybody has a part to play, and so it's like you said this, and then it made me react like this, and then I reacted in kind, and blah blah blah, and it just keeps building until becomes this huge, massive mess. But I'm
Mhm.
like, look, we both had a part to play in this. Things were said that we probably should have thought about before, saying them, but we didn't. So
Yeah.
here's what I am sorry for. I'm sorry that I was not thoughtful. I was not, and I wasn't attentive to what you were actually really saying. And I'm sorry that I got so defensive and, reacted in such a way that was hurtful to you. Like I had to break it down
Yeah.
in every single, very fine, like break it down with a fine tooth comb basically, and just be like, look, this is what I'm sorry for. I'm only apologizing for the stuff that I know that I did wrong. and
Right.
but I had to examine it all. And then, you know, like I can only take responsibility for my actions and the parts that I played.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to take on any more responsibility, because if I do that, that's when I start getting in here more, and I'm like, dude, I'm just a terrible person.
Hmm.
But no,
Or
in
even
reality,
starting to take on the, well, this is why, right? Doesn't matter
yeah.
why. It's just, here's
Mhm.
what I did. I'm sweeping my side of the street,
Yep.
and that's it. And that's, yeah, for sure.
Exactly. And you can
And
only
then
hope.
you have a sincere apology, right?
Yeah, and then you can
Yeah.
only hope
Yeah.
that they do that. And that's one thing, is that I've come across a lot of people that have had a lot of hurt in their lives and a lot of trauma and stuff like that. And like they still struggle. They still struggle. Like I have trauma in my life too. I
Hmm.
do. But and
Mhm.
I like and I but the reason I don't struggle with it as much as other people, like everybody's trauma is different. Everybody deals with it differently. But what helped me get away from all of that and really like kind of put it to rest was the simple fact being is I did the same thing. I went back and I was like, what part did I have to play in this where I could have been wrong?
Yeah.
And I apologize to myself. I apologize to the other person, and it's like, but then it kind of comes down to, obviously you can't go back in time and reverse it, right? But and most people are just like, all I want is an apology. We have to stop thinking like that. We have to stop waiting for an apology
Hmm.
and just take care of what we can, again, control what you can control.
Right.
Control yourself and make yourself better by apologizing for the whatever part you may have had to play. What Because again, nothing justifies other people's actions and why they did what they did. But you can apologize and you can forgive.
Right.
And that's what you have to do. You have to be willing to do it. Even if it's the worst fucking thing possible, you have to be willing to forgive and keep elevating yourself forward and keep moving forward.
Yeah, and make that amends
Hmm.
sincerely and without an expectation of you're gonna be forgiven, right?
Yeah.
Too. Uh,
Because I mean, there was definitely people that did not forgive me
right.
for, the hurt that I caused, but I can't control them forgiving me.
Yeah.
All I can do is I can apologize
Right. Well, and
and
you
then
can
leave it there.
control that that's not going to create a new resentment, right? That they didn't
Right.
apologize, you know. And you can go the other way too, if you kind of go back and evaluate things, and sometimes we carry burdens that we don't really need to, and
Mhm.
that we kind of go back and look at our part and go, wow, maybe I didn't have a part in this, or you know I didn't cause but we still carry guilt or shame anyways, right? And we can
Mhm.
forgive ourselves for those type of things too, make that amends to
Yeah.
ourselves.
And that's when
It's
things start to
powerful.
kind of come back together, and you start to kind of feel a little bit lighter and stuff like that once you start getting rid of those things and you start realizing, look, this is all I can do.
Hmm.
I can't make the other person forgive me.
Yeah.
I can't change them. I can't make them apologize either. But what I can do is I can clear my conscience. I
Hmm.
can clear my mind. And once I do that, I can start to forget it and, move forward
Yeah.
in a better light. And honestly, once I started doing that, I physically and spiritually and mentally felt lighter on my feet.
Yeah.
And I was amazed.
Freedom, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was so freeing, and I'm like, why do people not want this? Like, holy cow! Like it felt like I was honestly high. It did. I was like, dude, I must have just smoked a fat blunt or something, because like I feel like I feel good.
Yeah.
But
Taking
it
them
was just,
apology pills.
yeah. But it was just the elevation. It was me doing the inner work for myself, and and the mental work.
Yeah.
And it's important for people to realize that. And so anybody that wants to get on that journey of self-healing, and starting to do that inner work, please reach out to me, reach out to Chosen. We have numerous resources,
Yeah, that's what
and
we're here
it's
Yeah.
for.
growing all the time. honestly. Like
Yeah.
I'm excited to even like lean into it myself more because I really like I it's a never-ending journey and I want to be able to help people effectively, not just in my music, but just having talks,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. And it comes right back around to how this whole conversation and podcast started, right? To helping
Mhm.
other people and stopping the violence and helping
And
each
just coming
other
together.
grow as a community and coming togetherness and yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Choose peace. Choose peace, guys.
Choose peace, peace and love,
peace, love,
Yes,
and
definitely.
positivity.
All this
positivity.
extra stuff, man,
Hey,
that's just chaos. It's either peace or chaos, man.
yeah,
Just choose the
It is.
peace.
it's
Exactly.
funny. Sounds corny as fuck, but right?
It
But
really
It
does.
really does.
But
But man,
but
it's
it's like
good.
it
so
It's
does, but it
not.
is what
true.
it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. Yeah, it's better than the alternative. What's the
Yeah.
alternative? Prison,
Ex-
a
yeah.
casket, right?
Yeah. I'm
Prison
I'm
or a
I'm good off
casket.
that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
literally it.
yeah,
I'm good off prison and my casket is not quite ready yet.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I got to
Find
keep putting in the
something worth
work.
living for, guys.
Find something
Like,
worth living for
Oh, I
sure.
did. It's my child.
Yeah.
My child is what I live for,
yeah.
and being able to help others is what I live for. I honestly I can say that I live for others more than I live for myself sometimes.
Hmm.
And but I had to learn how to stop living for others and really live for myself first. And now since I've gotten to that point in my life, now I can start, living with others instead of living for them. I always carry around um the memories that I've made with people that are gone, and it's always great because it does help me talk to other people um that may be dealing with the same type of thing, a loss and stuff like that. And that's another thing why the STV movement is so big because like I said, everybody knows somebody that's gone through, gone like gun violence or gang violence or whatever, knowing
Yep.
somebody that they've
Even emotional
lost.
violence, emotional abuse too.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is
So
once a community or fellowship, you know, grows enough, there's gonna be a newcomer that's going through something that somebody that's there has already been there and can help them get through. You know, and
exactly.
Yep.
that's the whole idea behind it, I suppose. Um,
Yeah.
Exactly.
you know, uh, but again, it starts with that wanting that change for yourself first. Starts
Yeah,
Sure.
within.
absolutely. It really does. And I'm excited. I'm excited for 2026. Just because I know that we're going to be making tremendous changes and strides this year, not just as individuals, but also as a collective. Um, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing to
It
be a
is.
part of and watch and see the growth. Because I mean, I can honestly say that Chosen has grown every single day. That
Gotcha.
yeah,
It's a
literally,
lifestyle now. I realize healing is
Yeah.
like a lifestyle. It's like reminding yourself every day to protect your energy, protect yourself, and remember why you're here and your purpose.
Hmm.
hmm
It's a gentle reminder, but it should be a lifestyle.
Yeah.
yeah. And again, a lot of it has to come down with the words that we say, not just to ourselves, but to others. You know,
Hmm.
and it's just like I like even for me like I used to talk down about myself all the time and now I don't
Yeah.
talk down about myself um just because I'm like no I know like I'm an amazing human being. I really am.
Positive
Yep.
affirmation. Yeah.
Yeah,
Positive affirmations. Yep.
Yeah.
every day.
You gotta like retrain your mind in a sense, because every time you get a negative emotion, you gotta kind of fill it with a new positive emotion and make that your train of thought instead of the negativity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember a guy talking about, changing how we feel about ourselves and like self-esteem and stuff, and he's just like, think of like a real soup, like dirty like fish tank or whatever, just picture that in your mind, right? And then you're pouring clean water in there, and and after so much water, it's not the first glass that's going to make that thing crystal clear, right? But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you got to keep pouring that clean water in there, and eventually, and that's your brain and your thought process, and eventually you're going to have clear, you know drinking water, right? That's
Yep.
healthy and can keep you alive, right? You're not going to be living in this swampy, algae filled fish tank of a brain anymore. Not
Right.
negative space. Yeah, it was kind of a cool analogy. I mean, there's a million of them
Right.
like
And
that, but
so one
Yeah.
of the ones that I think about the most is and especially when it comes to like mental health, trauma and stuff like that, is that you look at it as you taking a glass and smashing it on the ground and then trying to go back in and put those pieces back together. The glass is never going to be the same,
Right.
but you can only you can but what you can do is you can take those pieces and you can make something even more beautiful from it.
yeah,
Sure.
Because
bro. What's
again,
that? That there's
glass
a
gets burned and stretched and broken a million times, and it can become stained glass.
yeah.
Yep.
Made me think of, and I'm not even gonna try to remember what it's called, but it's like a Japanese art, right? And they'll take like a cup or whatever that's already got designs or whatever. You put your own designs on it, but then you break it, right? And then you take um, glue and you put color in the glue, and you put like glitter and stuff like that, and then you glue all the pieces back together, so all these lines. So now it's a new piece of art, right? And it's beautiful,
Mhm,
and it's kind of the same thing, like you're talking about, making what was broken, making it beautiful again, right?
mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what you gotta look at it as, is like, it won't be the same, no,
Yeah.
but you can make you if you truly want to, you can make something even more beautiful,
Yeah.
but you can't give up. That's
Yeah.
the thing. It's gonna take work, and
Hmm.
stuff
There's
like
that
that.
word again.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
gonna
Yeah.
take a
It's
lot of
building
work.
the right mindset, which
Uh-huh.
takes a
Yeah.
lot of work.
Yeah.
So,
I think
training your brain and your
yeah,
heart
I
and
don't
your
think
soul.
Chosen was here. We were talking about, like, but how can I sit here and do nothing and get that instant gratification, right? Like,
Right.
yeah,
That's what
yeah,
so many
It's
people are
true.
looking
yeah.
for.
That's how I
It's
think that's how
instant
society
gratification.
operates today, especially with social media and the
Hmm.
internet, and I mean everything's at our fingertips or on our phones, or it's just so's our emotions, right? Because we look at all that shit constantly, and um talking about negativity and stuff. I mean, it's just filled with it. Everything
Yep.
on Facebook and Instagram. I mean, you might get the positive stuff from friends, but I mean, I swear there's it's bots and everything else. It's pushing political stuff, right? Or
Right.
violence. Oh, this is happening in the world, and we get all freaked out about it,
Yep.
and they
Yep.
say
Some.
sometimes just go out and touch some grass, right? Breathe
Yeah.
some air. Yeah,
Find times to take social media breaks,
yeah.
Literally.
or use social media differently. Use it more as a tool instead of, like, you can train your algorithm to be really whatever.
Hmm.
You don't
Exactly.
have to participate in the same content. It's just reevaluating your content as you're growing in mindset.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's literally what I did, is I trained my Instagram algorithm to start pushing forward like more positive stuff. Stuff
Stop
that's
doom
gonna
scrolling.
Literally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's
for real.
like, so now I have every single thing that pretty much pops up on my Instagram is positive, and it's like, or it's something motivational, or it's something that's going to train my brain to help me. So a lot of it is sales training, a lot of it is motivational talks, and stuff like that, because again, at the end of the day, I am a salesman. So,
Yep.
not just of products, but also myself. I am a product, you
Hmm.
know, because I like every single time you interact with somebody, you're selling yourself. You're selling yourself to that person. And
Yeah.
like in a form. Um and it's very interesting, because it's like you only have 3 seconds to make an impression.
Hmm.
And if you can't do that, you're probably you're already going to lose them. So it's like you have to learn how to sell yourself in a way that will keep people interested and want them to talk to you. And a lot of that comes down to the inner work that you do for yourself, but also how to, if you, for some of us, it's like you're either an empath or you can feel energy. And so it's like we know what to say to these people. We know how to talk to these people because we can feel where they're at. And we can use
Yep.
that gauge to, talk to them more effectively.
Hmm.
And so it's like, whoo, wow, okay, that's kind of scary. But It's true. It's very true. And I honestly think that, because again, the one person that I talk to probably the most is Chosen. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
literally, about business stuff, about personal stuff. It's just across the board. So
Yeah.
it's like we both have that common understanding of like because we both feel energy, we both know energy, and it's like so I can tell I'm like okay, Chosen's a little bit off,
Mhm.
or it's like I can tell by the way that I'm saying something that it's kind of moving her mood a little bit and changing her energy. So I'm like okay, you know
Mhm.
what, I need to be more effective. How am I going to be more effective in communicating to her so it doesn't make her like shut down, close off, or
Mhm.
retreat, but she'll just be like she'll be more receptive to it. And, she does the same for me. And it's
Mhm.
just like at the end of the day, like, trust you already know how it is.
Yeah.
She'll be like, "Is that why this is like?"
You
I'm like, "Yeah."
have to
And
have a
I'll be
pep
like
raise. It's a
I'm like,
process.
"Whoa."
Sometimes we put things out there and the answer doesn't come till later, or
Yeah.
the thoughts you have the thought and then you're like, once it gets there, you're like, wow, we're really in the moment that we thought about.
Yeah.
It's that revelation finally coming to fruition.
Yeah, and we stuck to the mission, and now it's starting to unfold, and it's real.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And so it's crazy.
I had a mentor in my life, who's recently well, he passed away like a year ago now, but um, he would hit me with questions, right? And it's funny because sometimes you want to just answer a question right away, right? Even if you're not quite sure, because maybe it's that want to satisfy somebody else, right? And
Mhm.
he'd ask me
Mhm.
something, and I'd go to answer. He'd be like, "No, this isn't for you to answer right now." And he'd make me like think about, tell me in a week, right? And it's like,
Mhm.
Yeah,
oh, and but yeah, and so it'd be kind of for one, it like kind of it bugged me, right? Like, God damn, now I got this stuck in my head, but but I understood, and then I could give like a real thought, give it a real thought, and then and a real honest answer later, and um, it'd be something like either with it was a work related issue, question, or a relationship, or how do I see myself, type in like 10 years, or how do I want to be an influence with my child, shit like that, like deep stuff. And then he'd make me not answer, and wait, and actually think about it. it was
yeah,
it was pretty cool. Yeah, it was kind of an exercise that
it's
I
important.
was unintentionally made to do, that I didn't necessarily like doing at the time, but it was necessary now, with hindsight. I think it was necessary for that growth later on.
Yeah.
Um, it sounds like you guys kind of have that vibe going on where where you can kind of challenge each other's minds, and
Oh yeah,
make each other think a little bit.
This is true. Very
Yeah.
true. Oh
definitely,
Lord.
definitely.
Yeah.
It's honestly in like and when you have that connection with somebody, and stuff like that, because like I have that connection with my sister too.
Hmm.
And it's sometimes it's almost terrifying
Yeah,
because it's like I can't lie. I can't lie
Yeah.
anymore. Like even if
yeah,
I wanted to, I can't.
Hmm.
yeah.
She's like she's like, "Boy, don't lie to me." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay."
Call you out. Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
good
it's
though. I mean, we
but
need
it's so
people to
good.
keep us in check.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, 100%. We
I know
definitely
I do.
do.
Yeah, I know I do for sure.
yeah,
Because I
She'll be
get in
like,
my own. I get wild, right? By myself. Yeah.
"Check yourself before you wreck
Uh,
yourself."
and yeah, I got people in my life now. I ask them to do that. I'm like, please, if you see me, you know, because you know me, right? Like, so if I'm behaving off or whatever, call me out on it. Ask,
Right.
and don't worry about being gentle either. Just
Just say
sometimes,
it.
sometimes I need, punched right in the nose. Just hard, not
I won't
metaphorically.
yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I was about to say if you want to be checked and you want it to just come across however, raise a 5-year-old.
yeah, right.
Oh yeah,
Literally,
the kids be
they're
telling you the
Yeah.
brutal.
truth.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
my daughter calls me out all the time.
oh
she'll give me 8 here pretty soon in July, I mean. Yeah, and she's good at calling dad out. And
yeah,
yeah, it's
good
funny too as
lord.
they get older because we see ourselves in them, and it's like, oh God, she's just like me. Oh no,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh
one hundred
no,
percent. And
I do
that's
that
and
too, right?
like shout out to my
That's how
daughter
I
too for
manipulate
that, for
things
real.
too. Shit, yeah,
Because like she was only 4 years old, and she comes up to me and she sees me like I was just sitting like this, I was like thinking, I was like, oh boy. She comes up to me, she's like, Daddy, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, honey, I'm fine, I'm fine. And she's like, well, you don't look fine. And so and then she puts both her hands on my face and she's like, Dad, you need to fix your life. I'm like, oh,
oh damn,
I was like, oh,
Dang.
I was like, dang, child. I'm like, I'm trying, okay, I promise. But ever since that moment, like I've just been like, boom, I'm just consistently trying to do everything that I can to better my life and better my situation and elevate my life and the people around me because I want my daughter to look up to me and be like, my dad did it. You
yeah.
know, he like and I'm like, she probably don't even remember saying that. But I'm like, hey, little girl, you told me when you were like this tall to fix my life. And look at us now.
Yeah, bro, I got a
It
sim.
was you.
I have a similar story, man. A few years ago, I'd relapsed on alcohol, and so I was sober at the time, and I had taken my daughter. We went on a vacation, and we went to down to Portland. And we were staying in a hotel, and went to the zoo down there and stuff. And a little weekend. Well, that weekend I'd relapsed too, right? And I'd been on it for I don't know few months, right? And she told me one day, and yeah, she was like 5, like 5, 4, 5, something 4, I think, at the time. She's just like, Dad, just out of the blue. Do you remember how you were when you went to the zoo? We went to the zoo, right? It was like right before when I was still sober. It's like, yeah. She's like, I want you to be like that again. It
Whew.
bro, yeah, it was just like, dude, I like
Yeah,
had to run out the door outside and bawl my eyes out and like hitting my knees, dude. Just God help me, like yeah.
honestly
And
though.
but that's man, I had to hear that, and she
Yeah.
hit me with that one. And man, I wish I could say I got sober that day. It took me a few more months after that to really
Right.
convince myself that I had a problem.
Well,
but
it's because
that's the
and a
thing
lot of it.
that really set things in motion. I think this, to
Yeah.
be like, man, she is right.
Well, and I've actually kind of come to realize a little bit more about that because when like if our children say something like that real and and
Hmm.
stuff like that that it really hits, like and we're like, oh well, I mean it didn't start for me until a little bit after that. It's because at the same time you look at it and you're like, wait, that's my child that's saying that, like what?
Yeah.
But then I thought you think about it a little bit deeper and like, that's my child saying
Yeah.
that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so then you're like, okay, yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah.
So you then you start to kind of change
Yeah.
because I mean even growing like even when we were kids and stuff like that, like imagine trying to tell your parents, like, mom, dad, you need to stop fighting.
Yeah.
what what do you know? Like, go sit
Right.
down. Go grab a cracker out of the like.
Yeah.
But
Go to your
it
room. No
yeah.
room. Yeah.
But then after that, once we became adults and stuff like that, and we had the power and the ability to make our own decisions and stuff like that, we're just like, we don't need to listen to you. We did the exact same thing.
Hmm.
And then after that, but then, for some, we actually do listen and we're like, oh, whoa, okay. My child just said that. And I'm thinking about it now. She's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Like, I do need to better my life. I need to do better. Like, the way that I was living before was not it. It
Yeah.
was not it.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Oh yeah.
and we don't give kids enough credit because at the same time, it's like sometimes, you know, they are more in tune with the universe than we actually realize.
Yeah.
We start to disconnect as we grow and get older because we stop trying. And but once you are able to really start growing and building and stuff like that, you'll start to get more in tune with the universe again, and you'll start to understand it, and that's when you start to elevate and your third eye will open.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
it's real.
yeah,
kids are awesome.
I love kids. Shout out kids, bro.
Shout
Like,
out
Yeah,
woo!
shout
kids.
out to the kids for real.
Yeah,
Keep us going.
yeah, that's
Amen
right.
to that.
They could be changed too. Change us.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And event like, and I don't know if you guys know the group, the African Children's Choir, but shout out to them because that's what I want. Like children that like came from Africa, they built an entire choir and they got to travel the entire world, doing performances. Um,
Nice.
and it definitely bettered their life in a lot of ways, and it did better mine too. Even as a child, I was like, whoa, okay, they're
Yeah.
amazing, absolutely amazing. So shout out to them. I love them. Yeah.
Right on, guys.
Yeah,
Man, been going for a while. Apparently,
Yeah.
this Zoom works now.
that's
Yes.
good.
Hell yeah. Yeah,
We
one for
did
the
it.
good guys. Yeah, I appreciate I appreciate you guys coming on, doing this again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Yeah.
Shout out to you for
Yes.
having us on
Big shout
here.
out to
Shout
you.
out to Big T for, getting me linked in with you and, all of Diamond Sharp and Toxic Leaf. And I love you guys. You guys are awesome.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Thanks, guys.
Of
Jackson
course.
Gator, Queen Chozen, STV. Yeah. Look them up. I'll put some links in the description below so everybody can check out some music. Yeah, you guys are got really good music, and that's one thing I always say. I try to make sure if I do have people on the program and that and promote music that I want it to be good music to listen to, and you guys definitely both have some good records, good tracks for people out there, and a good message for people too. So
Yes, sir.
thanks for
Thank
Wow.
you.
coming on, and thanks for watching, everybody.
Love you guys.
Of course,
Peace
peace
out.
and love, everybody. Yes.